Welcome, Facebook Live again, Wednesday Wealth. We have a great show coming up for you today. Today, we're doing it a little bit different. In the past, we've kept everything
Give me a
pretty much
walk. Give me a
corporate.
down and back
We've
walk.
made it very available for our community. But now we're going to take in the month of August, we're going to start actually going out to the businesses and seeing how they run. A lot of people have came to me and said, hey, Cepeda, how can we see the business, we see the interviews, but how can we literally go out and see what these businesses are doing? So what I'm doing this particular month, I'm actually doing the business, talking to people in
Push.
their business.
There you go.
So
There you go.
we can see how we can impact our own community. Today, I always say the cavalry is not coming, ladies and gentlemen. The creek has rose. The levee is giving way. It's up to us to save us. Hey, share this with some of your people. Sit down, get everybody around the table. Today, we're going to talk about a community leader in our community, not in somebody else's community, in our community. And we know in our community, a lot of us African American males, we go to prison, we come out, and then we can't be functional, right? Well, today we're going to break that myth. We got the number one trainer in the city of Indianapolis right on my show tonight. He's going to be talking to us about what did he do to transform his life? What did he do to impact his community? And how is he creating generational wealth, not just for him, but also for the youth to come behind him. This is the person that changed his life. We're going to be on, and he's going to come on our show. He's training in the background. People are excited about him. He's been on the news. He's been doing a lot in our community. And I felt like it was only right. He said, hey, Cepeda, do you want to put me in the shirt? I said, listen, I want you to be you right where you at. I want you to give it to us uncut. That's what we want. Without any further ado, he's my personal trainer now. He's getting me in shape. So when y'all see these abs coming out, y'all see what I'm talking about. It's due to him. So hey, this is what we do when you bet on yourself. Ladies and gentlemen, these are people who are doing it in our community. We don't have to look outside of it. The cavalry ain't coming. The creek is rose. The levee is giving way. It's up to us to save us. Hey, Mike, tell them what it is. Tell me a little bit about yourself, Mike.
All right, man. I'm happy to be here. This was a beautiful thing, man. Like you said, this is a person that's from their city. They grew up with them. They know my history. They know I've been around for 100 years. When it comes to the training, I done ate, slept, and breathed this. So I think, I deserve to be able to be called a trainer in this city a different level, on a different level. Mostly because I create trainers. I'm certified to make them and help guide them with the small parts that the textbooks don't speak about, which is a lot of details with the way you twist and hold your hands for form. I'm a real stickler when it comes to that, and I'm a real stickler when it comes to the anatomy, on the kinesiology part of muscle movement. So that way it reduces injuries. That's a lot of the main things that I love to focus on.
All right. Okay, Mike. We're gonna get to the training part, but we want to get to what happened. We know that you were tell me a little bit about what you did in your previous life before you started the positive movement and impacting the youth, impacting your community. What was you doing when we was tearing up the community? What did we do back then?
Sure. You talking about them days on?
Yes. We don't want to show our people the end product. We want to show them how you got to where you're at. Okay.
Yeah.
Because a lot of times we give up.
Well, growing up, 17, I was in the neighborhood, but going back and forth from grandma's neighborhood. Like grandma's neighborhood was the heart. That's 3 times. That's the times. That's where my heart and soul is. My grandmother moved there when my mother was 10. My mother was raised in that house. That was the first house I came to after leaving Methodist. So my soul is on Arsenal, 33rd and Arsenal. Jumping the fences, doing backwards flips on heavy trash day and mattresses and stuff. That's where I grew up at. Uh, yeah, running the streets. Cocaine was a big deal for us, growing up. It was an epidemic that took over our whole neighborhood, our whole country. Not to be funny, So the adults, that was our parents, was the people that was getting high. And then we were the kids up under. So by us being the kids up under, we was quarterbacking the adults, even though we was children, doing things like adults, but we wasn't adults yet. So walking out of grandma's house, shoot, I could just lean over the fence and sell a couple packs, and we on our way to Lafayette Square Mile to get a pair of shoes. So that was who we were. You know, you didn't even have to walk and go do nothing. It was all they walking up and down the street all times of clock. That lifestyle turned into a way that pretty much handicapped us as young black men because money came to us so quick we didn't have to really work for it.
Wow.
And by you doing that, now we didn't know how to change brakes, alternators on cars, or none of that because you just give them one of them and they gone and fix your car. So that's really what we were, as the essence of who we was as young black dudes coming from our neighborhood. We was a small hood, so we was only 4 streets. Ralston, Schofield, Hovey, and Arsenal, my street that I stay on. Uh, that was our neighborhood. That was how we grew up. Solid dudes, never no snitches. Uh, yeah, yeah. That was that was what we lived to be.
So you talked about, one, we see that, you given a classic example of what happened in our community, and a lot of times, Mike, we can't actually disseminate what that means. How we are not able to articulate what that was, and you gave some good valid points. I remember in my community, it was Blaine Street. That was my street, and we still to this very day we shut off the whole block, and they know that the Jacksons run Blaine Street, but you made a good point. Crack cocaine came in our community, and we stopped producing. We stopped believing in ourselves. We stopped working on our own stuff. Okay, so tell me a little bit. So we got the crack. You were saying, hey, listen, we were kids raising our parents, right?
Right.
So what transpired to where, let's get to it because a lot of people don't want to make that transition. And when me and you talk, you so eloquently put it. What transpired? What caused you to want to change once all the negativity happened to you? What made you want to change?
Well, okay, I'm gonna say it like one of my college professors said it. His name was Mitch. He also was a state representative out of Anderson, so he was also very political. He was a Ball State instructor when I was getting my bachelor's degree in prison.
Hold that thought. Now, once again, ladies and gentlemen, I don't want y'all to forget. He's saying that he come from the street. He sold drugs. He went to jail. Now he's out. And guess what he's talking about? He's talking about his college degree. So once again, it's up to us to save us. The cavalry ain't going to come. The creek is rose. The levee is giving way. A lot of times when we're talking, we skip this part. I don't want y'all to be remiss.
Yeah, that's a very important part. It's funny because I was going to go on and call Joe, the mayor, about that. I was really going to do that. I talked to the people the other day because he's got a really good program right now. What he's doing is he's giving people Ubers from prison. I mean, from jail. If they get released from jail, they're free Lyft. So he gives them a lift. He gives them jobs, and that's a very good, important thing that he's got. But I'm gonna go back to prison, where I got my associate's degree and my bachelor's degree in there. And that college professor told me that it's 3 things that's gonna happen in life that's gonna make you change. He said, number one, either you get hit with a bat, meaning something that's just totally blindsides,
Okay.
something that hits you so hard. Let's say a car accident hit you, and you never was able to walk again the same way. You always got this
Okay.
permanent limp. That's what a bat is to describe a bat. Then you got your higher power. So that could be whatever form of spiritual form that you may have that would make you want to change. And then the third reason why you would change is due to your family, meaning your significant other, your children, or your grandmother. But it's for somebody else that you love more than anything in this world. That's the reason why you would change. And then
Okay.
the reasons.
So those were your three reasons. So you got to be hit with a bat.
You gotta
Okay.
get hit with a bat. A bat could be anything. That could be somebody slipped you a Mickey and you was sick or messed up for a couple years until you got off of it. It could be anything. The second one is that higher power. The higher power, whatever form that gave you that inner peace to let you sleep and be at peace, and you could see that God was walking with you. That's it. And then the last one is family. You know,
Okay. So once again, you're 17, 18 years old. You're a grandma's boy. You like hanging out with
yeah,
grandma.
hey,
Stay
I
on the
love
street.
grandma.
So you get in trouble. You go to jail, right?
Squat down, bring your elbows to your knees. Thank you.
So
Yeah, that look good. I'm sorry.
so you go to jail, right? What made you want to get a degree? What made you flip your mind? What made you not give up?
I think being in prison, listening to all the OGs, and I'm gonna be authentic. I'm gonna say who they were. They was all from Hawthorne, where the Ghetto Boys was in the city. I mean, everybody know who they are. It ain't no ifs, ands, buts about it. And they was just some OGs in there that was straight solid. I mean, you come to them, you got your paperwork, they got their paperwork. Then we can talk. But let's get past this paperwork first. So I got to see who you are and if you are authentic. A lot of people don't get past the paperwork. A lot of people just go on and avoid it and go on and check in to whatever's a safer dorm, something that gives them protection. You see what I mean? So let's just start it off right there. So that's how you come in. You sit there and you talk to a lot of the OGs. They put you up on what you need to do. It's up to you if you're going to do it. So now every day is trying to get out because we know everything in prison ain't nothing. So it's nothing to glorify. It's no big prison trip to tell kids to grow and do. So out the gate, he's telling you, get out of here. Everything in life is out of these walls. Is out of this.
So once again, so Mike, you being very authentic. See, this is what we're talking about: generational wealth. So your generational wealth, am I hearing this right? It actually started when you was in prison. You had some older men teaching a younger man how to get out of his situation. Is that what I'm hearing?
Thank you, Corlette. I'm loving what you're doing. Keep going. Yeah, that's exactly what happened. And
Wow.
and I'm gonna tell you, one of them came to me straight up, and he was an OG just because he knew my mama.
Wow.
He knew my
Stop
mama.
right there. So we got young men being mentored in prison by other men who are in prison. So once again, ladies and gentlemen, the Calvary is not coming. So now we're giving something realistic, tangible. We got somebody who actually went through it. Okay. So now these older men is telling you, get your stuff together, young man. This is how you are going to get out of here. And you listen, right?
Right.
You listen. Was this consequences?
20 years.
Yeah. How many years did you actually serve? Do you mind sharing?
Out of all of my cases, 11
years. So 11 years you was in there and you had older men teaching you how to be a man.
Exactly, because one of them came to me straight up and was just like, hey, life is real with you, so why the fuck are you playing with it? And that was it. It ain't nothing else to say. Why are you playing with it? What you running around in this prison for? Smacking people, beating up on people, just doing whatever you want to do in here, because the sad part about prison is when they go in as kids, like we did at 17, 18, 19, and 20, well, let's just take it back to like if you was a rite of passage of being a man. It wouldn't matter what tribe you come through, they gonna send you through a system so that way you can have the rite of passage from a teenager to a grown man. There's got to be some gap in there. You see what I mean?
Mhm.
So that's what a lot of guys get lost in prison. They get in there and they too busy beating up guards, beating up the dudes, selling dope, doing all of this stuff, everything other than getting out. You're supposed to get out, but you in here doing everything else but getting out, stabbing people. You're doing the most, and it's a hard thing for a young black man to do is not get caught up in it, so that way you can get out early. So what we did is we stayed deep in our books, making sure we had a 3.0 GPA, so that way we knew each semester not only did we graduate, but we did high on our GPA, so that way we could keep our grades up, because you got to realize the best person to impress is the judge. Ain't you trying to go home? Where you want to go? I want to go home, right?
Yeah. So once again,
on the road to go home.
So once again, ladies and gentlemen, let's break down the stigma that brothers who go to jail are bad. No, they're just like us. So when you got out, what made you think that a brother that went to prison, stayed in there 11 years, can come out and function in this technology world and be successful at running a business? What made you think that you could run a business, Mike? Come on now. Mike, I don't know about what you're talking about, man. Tell me what made you think that you could run a business?
Every businessman got to go off every supply and demand. Well, and okay. I'm looking at if you give them what they want, they're gonna continue to keep buying, right? So correct. That's the basic principles. And I think being a drug dealer, I think being a person that went through college with an associate's degree, a bachelor's degree, and then I came home and I was still. So you said,
hold up, Mike, you said you got a master's degree too?
I got it in there from Ball State, from prison.
Ball State, ladies and gentlemen.
Because they actually had Ball State University in the prison. So therefore, it wasn't like you didn't have a university credits. Your university credits move over. You know, it's not like a state credits where, you know, some of these credits might not work, like an IUPUI or no, IUPUI do because they're a university. But what I mean as far as like, let me get one.
Ivy Tech.
Yeah, like an Ivy Tech, those credits don't. So the thing of it was actually the program. See, they don't have them programs in prisons no more. They done cut out the college and stuff in now. And they done changed the time to more. So you doing longer time and you got lesser time cuts now. It's really, the deck is stacked against you right now.
Okay. So what made you, so you decided to go to school because you had older brothers that pulled you aside and said, listen, dude, you're not going down this path. You might have made the mistake earlier, but this is ironic because we don't get this out there when you were free. You got this when you were confined.
Because see, when you in prison, you can't run. Ain't nowhere to go. Where you going to go? You can't go nowhere. So therefore, you got to be right here. No, you're going to listen to me right here, because the way the dorms is set up is Indianapolis or nothing. That's what it is. So if you from Fort Wayne, you from Gary, Chicago, or East Chicago, y'all going to be where y'all at. And y'all with y'all people. Ain't no in-betweens, you know, and that's what really made a lot of dudes from Indianapolis get closer, because we didn't have no other gangs. You couldn't say, because I'm from your neighborhood or you from your neighborhood. That don't matter in here. You from one place, Indianapolis, in here, and you going to fight with us or not in here. Okay. And there is no other way around.
So you got to the point to where you listening. You're 18 years old, 19 years old, 20 years old, 21 years old, 22 years old, 23
all of my 20s.
So
I got to pop out here and there
So my point is, so now you're in a situation, you're on the right path now. You get your degree. Now you're out. What made you decide to think that you can start a training weight training company? What made you think that you can do that, Mike?
Well, actually, it really wasn't me. It actually called me. I was going to do heating and air conditioning when I came out. I was at the place, and one of my buddies he just got home from the feds. So me and him went together to the heating and air conditioning thing, but he had already got hired like a day before at LA Fitness at a gym. So the manager asked him to bring his friend up, which was me. I didn't know. So I get there to the gym and he was like, "Dang, your body look nice." He said, "How about you be a trainer?" I was like, "I ain't never thought about that." He said, "Yeah, just try it out. Go on over there on the floor and see about helping a few people and see what they think." Now, in my mind, I didn't really look at it as Daniel's son, wax on, wax off. But as you get to waxing on, you get to seeing that it's coming off real pretty. And that's what I did. And I ran into a couple lawyers, mothers, and their wives. And after a while, these people kept asking me to keep doing it. And I was like, dang, so you like the advice I'm giving you? They like, yeah, here, I'll pay you. I don't even really want to use the trainer here at LA Fitness. How about I just work out with you? And that's how it started. I went to
Wow. So the opportunity presented itself, but you had to do some things on your behalf because now was you ever tempted to go back? Let's talk about it. Were you ever tempted to
Well,
get
we
back?
always gonna wrestle with the ups and downs, when things get tight and things aren't going the way that you want them to go. But one thing that I've learned in life, and it didn't matter, and I had to learn it real quick because you got to realize I'm 17 as a kid. I went through facing 110 years to end up knocking it down at 8. You know what I mean, for a reckless homicide. So that was my first time going into prison instead of going to Cal University for wrestling, which is what I should have did off of a scholarship. So I should have been going through college in California for 4 years, but instead I was here in the prison. So the first thing I learned was I'm gonna be a solid man no matter where they put me at because I got a floor. So if I got a floor up under my feet, then that means I can pray on my knees with my Bible. I can do my push-ups and I can do my sit-ups, and after that I'm solid. And that's how I looked at it.
So now you got your company, you started this company. Now people are starting to gravitate to you. You get people like, you're getting people like me in shape and get me with those upper arms right here, So you know how we do it. So you started rubbing elbows with high influential people, right?
Yeah, definitely at LA Fitness. I got to meet the owner of Cardinal Fitness. He was cool. Let me do whatever I wanted to do. All I had to do was just tell him a percentage of the people I was doing. And he was just like, here, just give me this, just give me that. He allowed me to just bounce up. I took the money, bought equipment, and I got my own gym. That's
Okay.
exactly how it
So
happened.
so let me ask you some questions because when me and you dialogue, you gave me some real good information. Once again, ladies and gentlemen, if you and your son, ladies, if y'all had a problem with raising your son, you needed to show this show to them because this is what they're up against. This is what our youth are up against. I was very transparent with Mike. Mike said, "Hey, listen, we're gonna keep it 100." That's what we talk. So now we're keeping it 100. A lot of times when you're talking about the Kanye Wests and the Jay-Z's, we talk about the glorified lifestyle, but we don't understand what the daily grind was. You're giving us exactly step by step. 17-year-old boy went into prison. Guess what happened? You would think that he in there raising Cain. He said he went in there and some old men set him down and said, listen, this is what you're going to do. And there's consequences for what you do.
There's consequences.
So
Yeah,
consequences. So these old men took him up under his wing. Now he's out. Now he don't go back. What he does, you see, he goes to LA Fitness. He couldn't get no job nowhere else. He goes to LA Fitness. Now look at what he does. He has Mike's gym. So now
yeah. I want to say one thing. It was not only hard for me to get a job, It's real hard trying to get a job if you got a murder on your packet. It's different if
Whoa.
you got something. It's different if you got something on your packet that, hey, even a friend of a friend can't get you hired on. So it's up to you to make it happen. How am I gonna feed myself? How am I gonna make sure I got a roof over my head? So I had to come up with what was good for me, which is personal training.
So once again, he bet on himself, ladies and gentlemen. He didn't go out and say, I'm going to go back out here into this lifestyle. He bet on himself, right? The Calvary is not coming. He looked inside. He didn't look on the outside. He looked inside and said, okay, what can I do? And this is what he came up with. He started personal training. He started rubbing elbows with the right people. Okay. Opportunities presented himself in our community. I didn't hear about him saying he go to California, did you? Did you go to Cali? No, you wanted to go to Cali, but
I
Cali
wanted to go to California
Cali didn't
because
come.
my wrestling coach and the college wrestling coach out there at Cal was best buddies. So everybody who went through our school went to Cal. It wasn't no if you wanted to go to Michigan State like I wanted to. You know what I
Okay.
mean?
Okay, so that's where we at. So let's talk about our community, Mike, because you have the impulse of our community, right? So what do you think is the state of our youth today? What do you think the state of
I
our
think
youth?
the state of our youth today is money hungry. And there's nothing wrong with it, but it's just the way that you go about it. It's the
Okay.
way you go about it. So it's real simple. Everybody want to keep making it a master mystery. If you take whatever that's in their hand and switch it for something else, let's just say um, a person's used to money because they used to selling heroin or fentanyl, these crazy drugs that's now not only are you like they just had it in the paper today where a guy is getting sentenced for not only selling the drug, but also the death of the person that passed away, which is these drugs that they got nowadays. So, with those kind of situations, it's crazy. It's just flat out crazy, that they are literally giving you a murder with the drug at the same time of selling a controlled substance. So you catching two cases in one. That,
Okay,
yeah, but that
so
that is the thing. But what I was saying is you got to take whatever that drug is out of their hand and switch it to some real estate,
what?
or
That's
switch
right.
it with, or
No, so
switch
that
it
sounds
with,
like something that we can do. So whatever we're replacing it with,
whenever
we're gonna give it
you don't want somebody doing what you think they doing. If they got guns in their hand, they got dope in their hand, whatever they got in that hand, switch it with something else. But you can't just tell somebody stop doing what you're doing and you ain't putting nothing in their hand. Their hand is still empty. So they're gonna keep grabbing what they know work.
Okay. Okay. So that's the first thing. So one of the things that we got to do. So me and Mike, you heard it here first. Me and Mike, we're gonna link up. We're gonna start teaching our young men how to buy real estate, right? Mike, you said something when me and you did our interview. You said something that was very true. You said a lot of times when you're dealing in the African American community, you said to men, one of the things that we don't have in our community is home ownership. When you become a felon, there's certain areas you can't live.
That's the most important thing that's killing the young black guys in the community right now. And it really don't have no age limit on it. If you do not own your own property, that is your place to stay as a man. Then it's allowing these men to keep catching cases because they are living up under somebody else's roof. And you got these girls, they just as dizzy, you know, they just as ratchet, crazy, wild, and they on these drugs with these men that's out here in these streets. All of these Xannies, rollers, all of these things that they popping, they own them too with the dudes. So when they get into these fights with they dude, they get them violated. They know they can get them violated, mess up their probation. Why? Because they fighting and they call the police on them. Now he got another 6 months. Now he got another 6 months. So it's so important for them to be able to get on their own feet so they can live under their own roof so they're not getting put out all the time and living from women to women or their own mama.
Okay.
That's a big problem. That's the
So,
problem right now.
so once again, ladies and gentlemen, we're talking about generational wealth on this. So he's saying that when you become, let me say it a different way, that if you didn't catch that, I'm gonna give you the corporate way. He's saying that when you begin to bet on yourself and you begin to stand on your own 2 feet and you own your own home, then you can go to your son and say, son, this is my house. This is what dad has built himself. You're starting to establish yourself as a man, right? Not as a boy, but as a man, right? In this society to where you feel like, you already been dealt a strike. You already been dealt a strike. So you're not going to fall
Good
off
job, Faith.
owning your own. What do you think contributed to your changing? What was the number one thing that you think contributed to you changing and being the man who you are today, Mike?
I think I'm say by me being a little nervous, I'm gonna say it's a lot of guys that's nervous too when they get out. Everybody's nervous from that first day of coming home because your mind is still 10 or 11 years back, but everybody else's mind is current. It's today's date to everybody else that's been out here, but your mind hasn't. So now you're the prey when you come out of prison. They're the they're the they're the killers, the people that's out here around you because they know what's going on. You vulnerable. You coming home, you don't know what's going on out here. You don't know who's who. You don't know what they've been doing. So for you to get back into society, you need all the help and the love from family to give you that support, help you get your underwear, your clothes, your toothbrush. You got to really put yourself in that position. See, a person that ain't never been through that, they wouldn't know what you're talking about. You see what I mean? But from a person who done lived it, walked it, hey, I know what's there. So you got to be able to have somebody, a support system. That's what you're talking about right now on generational wealth to keep allowing you to go to the next level.
Wow. So once again, ladies and gentlemen, the Calvary ain't coming. This is what grandmas, if you are a single mom, single dad, and you don't know how to reach our youth, or you don't know how to reach that young man who just got out of prison, and you keep saying that there's no hope for him, here Mike is telling you. So y'all can't say that I didn't give y'all everything. We didn't cover the whole bag. We're covering everything tonight. Generational wealth. Our youth, we're losing our youth because Mike is telling us how we can get them back.
All you gotta do is put something else in their hand, but make sure what you put in their hand is making money. So you could put a dually truck in their hand, you could put a box truck in their hand, a tow truck in their hand by giving them the keys, walking it through with a Class B or a Class A CDL license. But you got to put something in their hand that's
Starting a business, buying and selling properties, and most of the time, and I'm going to throw this nugget out there. What I begin to realize most of the time, if you've been away in prison for any length of time, 4 or 5, you say you went in for 10 years. Guess what happened? Your credit score went up. So when you get out, you can go out and buy a house, but you don't know that if you can get a job. You go out, you start a company. Okay, you can buy some real estate. You can do whatever you want to do because your credit is good. So you ain't got to go to work for nobody. So I'm getting some questions now, Mike. So I'm going to go through some bullet point questions. I know you like to keep it. I know you got to get back to work. I don't want to keep you. I thank you for coming in and teaching us young people how we can make it. Do you think that being physically fit help you to train your mind to change the way that you look at life?
It's a holistic view. It's a very holistic view. A lot of it comes with spiritual first, because that builds up your confidence.
Okay.
So you always got to have the confidence to feel like you can achieve and you can do it. That's the number one thing I'm thinking, and I'm slowly learning in life that you got to believe in you, that you can just do it. That's it.
Wow. You have to bet on yourself. So you prescribe to that. I tell people all the time, you got to bet on yourself. They're starting to call me the man that bet on himself. But you know what?
It's a good thing.
So like I said, Mike, a lot of times when we're dealt a bad hand or we're going through something, we think that that's the end. but that can be really the
That's
beginning.
the beginning.
That's the beginning. It's
That was
almost
the
like
beginning.
that's almost how you look at it, like a glass half empty or a glass half full. You know,
And what you
it's
gonna do from that point?
yeah. What are you gonna do? How many times are you gonna get back up? I was watching a Rocky movie a couple days ago, and one of the scenes in the Rocky movie, he was talking to his son. He said, "Life deals you a blow, and life is going to deal you a blow, and it'll knock you to your knees, right? But you got to have the courage to get back up. You know, you just got to have the courage to get back up. What is your company doing to impact our community? What is your company doing now?
I would say my business is keeping people alive. And if that ain't important, I don't know what is.
Tell me how we keeping us alive, brother. Tell me how we doing.
By building up your target heart rate, allowing the blood circulation to go through your body. So therefore, you allowing salt and sodium to go lower in your body, because it's hard for everybody to fight against sugar, salt, or sodium. So with that target heart rate up, that blood pumping all through your body, all the way around, you can't tell me that everything ain't firing. All your spark plugs is firing. And that's what's important when you add that water. So that's what my company do for people. It keeps you alive.
Okay. Now, do you have any youth programs? Do you work with the youth?
We got kid boxing programs. Yes, I do. I'm also starting another program, but it's going to be for adults, women. I'm going to do more of like a class setting type. And I'm going to have a female trainer. I'm going to have a male trainer do it. It's going to be real nice.
Okay, tell me where you at, Mike, in case some people want to know where you at.
26. I'm at 2326 East 44th Street, right here on the corner of Keystone.
Okay, so once again, ladies and gentlemen, Mike is the #1 trainer here in the city. You got to come in and bring your youth to him. He said the youth is having problems. Come in. He's teaching them what now?
Teaching them boxing, but it's also discipline inside of that boxing.
Discipline inside of the boxing. And if there's anybody who can be more disciplined and transform your child, is the man who has actually done it. You know, once again, Mike went to jail. And when me and him talked, what was the first thing I said? I said, Mike, don't run from that. And what?
Yeah, be proud of that. It is a thing, because I didn't allow it to destroy me. I didn't allow it.
You didn't allow it
to me. Yeah. And I think I'm gonna say one thing. I was nervous when I came home. That's why I went on and went to Indiana Wesleyan and got my MBA. Just because I wanted to be a little bit more stronger in business. So I don't ever want nobody to think that, we didn't go to school in prison and outside of prison.
Wow.
So once
again, them brothers in prison was watching him. So once again, we got to remember, grandma's boy, let's bring this current. Grandma's boy, 17, 18, 19 years old, cutting up, didn't listen to his parents, got in trouble, went to jail, got in jail, got some mentors, got some coaching, not your traditional coaching, not your traditional mentor, but he was our mentor. That when we was in that situation, it was another African-American man teaching a young African-American man on how to be a man.
To be a man.
That's important. That is very important.
Because it's maturity.
Yep. And then he gets out and he does not forget about what he was taught, where he was at. That's another important fact. Then he said,
it's hard
then he got to strap up his bootstraps, and then those brothers who's still in there, he got to represent them. Where his street is from, he got to represent them. And the streets are always calling.
Oh, they always watch.
They always watching. So once again, not only did he get out, he said he was scared. He said nervous. I say scared. Because guess what? When you're away, everything looks different.
Streets is different. Businesses is different. Places done got tore down. New stuff is built up. So, yeah.
So now he's in a situation to where he has to learn how to adapt into this new environment. What did he do? Young ladies and gentlemen, he bet on himself. What did he do when he bet on himself? He went back to school. Okay, he became a citizen. He didn't say I got a felon, I can't do nothing. He didn't say I got a felon, I can't get a job. I'm sure that he applied at places and they turned him down. That's a part of being on probation. Now look at what he did. You look at his gym. I wanted him to do it authentically at his gym to show us young people that you can make it if you want to. The cavalry is not coming, ladies and gentlemen. The creek is rose, the levee is giving way. It's up to us to save us. We have corporate people in our community that is doing it big, logistics company, trucking companies, but we also have some people who have hit the pavement and has not given up, and it is impacting our youth. And some of our youth is not going to listen to corporate America. They're going to have somebody like Mike
somebody they can relate to when they feel down to earth, man. Somebody that's actually grew up a street over or down the street from them.
Somebody who they can look in the mirror.
Somebody they can actually plug into and feel like, hey, this is the same blood I got.
Yeah,
and that's
or even more so than that, Mike. They want to feel like, I feel like our youth, we're at our point with our youth in our generation. They want to identify with somebody that identify with them.
And you won't know what that's called?
What?
Jay Prince said it better. Anybody that's real, I wouldn't care if you on the fucking moon, I'm gonna come right there with you. And that's what they love. They love real. Everybody's a magnet to that real. It's hard to avoid when it's real and fake because you get so much fake out here that real is like, man, it's a magnet. And that's what we fed off of.
Okay, so once again, ladies and gentlemen, if you want to transform your life, you want to transform your body, you want to get your kids off the street, you need to be contacting instant messaging to me. I can't put it into our system, but instant messaging. I will put you in direct contact with Mike Ford, the #1 trainer here in the city. Everybody can't say that. I got the #1 trainer here in the city that's working.
And even if I wouldn't take the #1, I would definitely take one of the best.
You know what? I'm putting you at #1, Mike, because you're on my show. So when people be rocking on my show, then guess what? I'm saying they #1 because guess what?
And I appreciate you saying that, but I'm just a humble pie, man.
Hey, listen, the cavalry ain't coming, Mike, because guess what?
But I do go hard, though.
You have so many people that have counted us out. And we don't do that enough. We don't salute the brothers who are out here doing it. So why promote the LA Fitness? Why promote the YMCA when I got the best person right here that's gonna have me with my guns out?
Oh yeah, I'm gonna get you all the way to go. Hey, that ain't got nothing to do with no gym or no LA Fitness. That's just me and you. I did that.
All right.
You ate the food, I gave you the muscles.
Yes.
You got your part, I got mine.
So like I said, y'all gonna see this. Y'all see it. Mike did it. And so once again, ladies and gentlemen, we have to bet on ourselves. The cavalry is not coming. The creek is rose, the levee is giving way. Today is one of our shows that I had to go to the streets because I went to the corporate America. And we have corporate people on here. Y'all seen us on Facebook Live, but we want to be well-rounded. Everybody is not going to be corporate America. Some people got to be able to deal with people where they at. And that's where we at. And so today, Mike came on my show. Today, I got him at the last minute. He's my personal trainer. If you want to know what I'm doing, I'm going to be shooting some live shots down there at his place. And we're going to get it in. But you gotta bet on yourself. And when you're betting on yourself, you gotta understand that everybody is not gonna always be backing you. Everybody's not gonna be clapping for you all the time. Mike, I'm pretty sure when you was in there and when you was in that cell, when you was looking up, you did not think that you would be doing what you're doing today.
Nah, I didn't think I was gonna be able to make it happen, but my heart said I could. My heart said it, baby.
Yeah. So once again, ladies and gentlemen, we're not here to bash anybody. We're here to uplift our youth. Our youth are struggling with finding their identity, just like Mike.
It's that rite of passage. It's the rite of passage. It's them years. That's why them trouble years from 17 to 25, 26 is so crucial because they gotta show that they ain't no hoe. They gotta show that they tough. And in the process of that, we got longer extended clips because they showing how scared they really are. You see what I mean? Because when you a man, you can walk on all 10 toes. I don't need no pistol for nothing.
Yes. So Mike Ford is giving us exactly what we need to do. If you are trying to get in shape, and if you're trying to change the way that you are shaping your body, okay, I'm gonna put Mike's number. Mike, is it okay if I put your number out there?
Yeah, that's fine. That's fine.
Okay.
I got some room.
Okay. So Mike Ford,
some...
we got his number. So we if you are trying to get your children, trying to get your son is struggling, put him in Mike's hands, and I guarantee you he'll be all right. Put him in Mike's hands.
Another thing, I'm gonna treat them like they mine. So don't never think. I'm gonna treat the kids just like they mine, man. It's called Genuine Gym Family. If I can't be family with you, you at the wrong gym, man.
Okay, so once again, ladies and gentlemen, if you're trying to get in shape, you want to get some guns like me, you can come call Mike. He'll take care of you. Tell him that Cepeda sent you. You'll probably see me down there working out. If you have some children that you don't know what to do, you're like, hey, I done everything I could possibly do. Put them in Mike's hands. We're going to go back to taking care of our community. Because you know what, Mike? This is why I was so excited about having you on the show. Because I had uncles, right? I had an uncle named George, and I had an uncle named Hayes, right? Now, George, in and out of jail, right? But George was the one, when I was out doing my dirt, George was the one that said, if I catch you out doing this, I already know it was on, right? So I already knew it was going to be a problem. But then I also had another uncle when I went to college. So my grandmother would call me and be like, I'm gonna tell your uncle on you. And then he would call me and be like, what are you doing? Have you lost your mind? So I had that. But then when I was in high school, I was an athlete. And I had a brother that was my half brother. His name was Lamont. And Lamont would always tell me, Cepeda, you better not do this. You better not do that. I better not see you doing this. And it was like a community raising this little man right here, right? So you got your rites of passage. Then I had a cousin, and we all hung around each other. So I'm a freshman in high school, and I got a brother who's a junior and senior, and I have a cousin who's a sophomore and junior, right? And we used to ride to school every day in the car. So that kept me out of a lot of trouble, because if I cut up, it was going to be a problem. So once again, like what you said.
But you had somebody to answer to.
Yes.
Just by him being there, his little presence would say, hey, I better not catch you doing that. Right there was enough. That's enough. That's enough for you to stay in line, and it lets you know somebody cares. Yep. Well, just imagine when you go down the street and you happen to be where a family like mine's, where we're big. It's a big family. So I already know it's like 8 or 9 aunties, people down the street. As soon as they see you, I'm going to give you a whooping. And it was different. So you're right. You was accountable because anybody could whoop you. Yeah. Anybody could go and tell grandma what you did. Now she got the switches tied all up. She coming to get you. But
yes. So even when I was in college, I was raised with my grandmother, but when I went to college, I didn't know anybody. So I met this dude. He was my best. He's to this very day, he's my best friend. His name is Sean Vaughn. And when I got to college, I had this guy named Greg and Corey. Corey is a big time attorney here in the city. He's been on my show. And these guys pulled me aside. Once again, like you had in prison, they pulled me aside and said, this is the route you got to go. And I've always had that mentor in my life. So once again, ladies and gentlemen, it's in our community. We just got to tap into it. Mike Ford is a key. He's a tool that we can use to change the way our economy is in our community. Not only, ladies and gentlemen, if you are looking for a trainer, health, want to get your body in shape, want to be more healthy, want to eat right, he can help you. Mike Ford is doing it big time. Mayor knowing he's very well connected with a lot of different circles. He's been there to the streets. He knows where he's at. He's changed his life. And my muscles ain't big as yours, Mike. But I want to be like Mike.
Hey man, I just want you to get. I want you to get it where you want it to be, and that's what I always tell
okay,
people.
You know what?
Muscle size don't matter. It don't matter.
I'm gonna tell you this.
What you like?
I want to be like Mike. I want to be like Mike.
Up,
that's the end of the discussion. I want to be like Mike. So once again, ladies and gentlemen, Mike, thank you for coming on the show. Once again, the cavalry is not coming. The creek has rose. The levee has given way. Mike said, give me 30 minutes. I said, Mike, I'm only going to do 30 minutes. Mike, I went over. We've been in here for about 50 minutes. And I don't think we tired.
Okay? I get it. But we were trying to keep it in a small setting.
So Mike said, ladies and gentlemen, Mike is a great tool in our community that we can utilize if you want to get in better health. Take your whole family down there. Make it a family thing. Let them know that you care about them other than you getting on them. Let everybody know. We're talking about generational wealth. Spending dollars in our community, health, making sure that we're physically fit. If you are having problems with your weight, diabetes, high blood pressure, call Mike. He can help you out. Okay?
I love to do physical therapy too. I love that. I love when shoulders and different little injuries and kinks. I love doing that with the bands too. So it's people out there that might need some of that, and I just didn't want them to think that I don't love doing that just as much as I love making people lose weight.
In fact, I met a young lady today. She said that she tore her ACL. So Mike can help you with that. So once again, we are creating generational wealth in our community. Stay tuned. Me and Mike, we're going to get together. We're going to do some financial planning in our community. We're going to do some weight training in our community. We're going to do some financial literacy. We're going to support one another. I'm going to support Mike, and Mike is the number one trainer here in the city. If he recognizes it or not, I'm going to keep telling him until he believes it.
I appreciate it. Humble pie. I can't go that route.
So once again, ladies and gentlemen, Mike, thank you for coming out. Mike, you're going to have the closing word. Anything you want to say or anything that you want to communicate to where we can well, let me ask this question. Everything we talked about today, what's one thing that we can do to help our community become more aware of generational wealth?
Genuinely be real. And what I mean by that is don't lie to people. You know they need help with this or that. You know their credit is struggling and you know how to help them. You know certain stuff. Just be real and help them. And I swear, from doing that, it's a magnet. It's a magnet of being real. Because then real people start to help you too.
Yep. So once again, Mike holds me accountable. I told him that I got 30 days to get in shape. Mike said, Cepeda is what you want to do. And I said, no, Mike, is what you're going to tell me. Because guess what? Everybody ain't the same. That's what Mike told me. Everybody ain't the same. But you know what? The cavalry is not coming, ladies and gentlemen. It's up to us to save us. I'm betting on Mike and his businesses grow. Call Mike today if you are if you're struggling with getting your kid in line. Call Mike. Mike can straighten it out.
I'll put him in the boxing program. Let him get discipline.
We'll straighten it out. So it's a little bit when you're standing toe to toe with somebody who looks like you, acts like you, and feels like you. Secondly, if you are trying to get in shape yourself, just want to do better. You're overweight, you want to get in shape, call Mike. Mike, I want to be a trainer. I want to get trained. Guess what? Mike is also looking for some trainers. If you are
I just got another one. So I'm so happy about him. And I'm waiting for him to come in.
So if you're trying to start a business, you want to get involved in something, you came out of prison or you can't keep a job or whatever the case may be, go call up Mike. Say, hey, Mike, I want to be a personal trainer. I heard about you on the show. Cepeda sent me. Hey, I'm here to work. And if you can do that, guess what? Just be yourself. Be genuine. Mike is going to be there to help you. And guess what? If we can't help you, I want you to come to me and Mike and tell us to our face, y'all lied to me. And guess what? Said that because the
Calvary
is not coming,
and
the creek is rose, the levee is giving way. It's up to us to save us. If you are just got out of jail, you're a felon, or whatever the case may be, hit me up, DM me, get somebody to help you out, send it to me, and we'll help you get into our homes. One way or another, we'll help. We're going to get you in shape spiritually, emotionally, and physically. We're going to teach you financial literacy. We're going to help you start a business. And guess what? It's on you now. It's not on me and Mike. Me and Mike have done what we're supposed to do. Because guess what? The Calvary is not coming, ladies and gentlemen. The creek is rose, and the levee is giving way. It's up to you to save you. That person in the mirror, that person that everybody criticized, the person that you gave up on, look yourself in the mirror and say, I'm going to bet on myself today. Mike, thank you, man. I'll be starting tomorrow. If y'all want to start this journey with me, I'm going to come down and I'm going to probably do a live show at Mike's tomorrow. And we want to start supporting that business. We want to have Mike so busy until he say, hey, Cepeda, I'm kind of upset with you because you got me too busy and I'm working too hard now. I'm working harder now than I'd ever worked because I got on your show. So, hey, I'm going to have to tell Mike, hey, that's the way it is. Ain't that what Tupac said? That's just the way it is.
The way it is, baby.
Don't never change.
Ain't nothing wrong with success, baby. Let's get
it. All right, then.
Let's get more of it.
So we betting on each other, Mike and me betting on each other. We got some financial literacy programs that's going to be coming down the pipe. We're going to be helping youth get into. We're going to be helping African-American men get into houses. We still are doing the program of 100 houses before December 31st. We still are striving. And guess what? We had a closing today. And guess what, ladies and gentlemen? If you are looking to get your credit straight, August the 20th, which is a Saturday, 12 o'clock to 1 o'clock, we're going to be having a credit education class. If you are renting and you have a job, you need to be at our home ownership class on the 20th of August, okay? Also, if you have a business, it's free. It is free, Mike. We're doing it for free. It's called Network Night, Business Network.
Free networking night.
Bring your business cards. We're going to have some live entertainment. We're going to have an opportunity for you to share your business. We're going to have, networking, everything that you're going to need. We're going to have some movers and shakers there. So there's no reason, if you got a business, you need to be at 9,000 Keystone in the Crossing on August the 18th. 9,000 Keystone in the Crossing, August the 18th, from 7 to 9. It's on a Thursday. I know a lot of you guys are going to be going down to the rooftop, but come and see me first. Get your business cards going first so that we can help you out. Then we can all go celebrate together. Mike, ain't that right?
Hey, nothing's wrong with that. That's how the rooftop started. That was a network, a small thing, networking, passing out cards. So it's
so that's where we're at. So once again, ladies and gentlemen, if you're trying to get your credit straight, August the 20th, 9,000 Keystone in the Crossing. We're going to be there. We're going to be doing credit. I'm going to follow us on our Facebook Live. Share this. Bring your family. Bring your friends. If you have a job, we can help you get into a house. Come on out 4 to 6. We're going to be from 2 to 4. 2 to 4, October the 20th. We're going to be taking you around and looking at houses. The housing market is changing, we can help you get in. We can help you get into a home. Okay? Come out, check us out, mess with us, let us know that we're here to help you. If you have any questions, give Mike a call. Once again, you can always give me a call, 317-847-2810, MA&D Capital Investment Group. Mike, thank you.
I just wanted them to know all they got to do is come to this corner right here, man. Right here, 44th and Keystone at the corner. You can see my building is behind me. So you can't say you don't see me. You see me. And then if you see me over here, then this is what I'm in over here. So you see me right here. Can't say you miss me, baby. That's all.
Can't say we miss you.
Can't say you miss me. There it is. I'm right here, man. Y'all come and pull up.
Well, pull up. Like I said, give Mike a call. If you need his services, numbers is at the bottom of your on your screen, we got you. If you're looking for financial help, we got you. If you're looking for physical help, we got you. If you're looking for a place to stay and you want to become a homeowner, we got you. So give us a call, holla at us. Thank you, Mike, for coming in. I went over a little bit. I apologize because I want to be respectful of your time, but I thank you for bringing us into your gym. This is the first time, or the first business that we actually see what these businesses are doing. So this was a good live for us. Thank you, Mike. Mike, thank you. I can't say how much I appreciate what you did.
Hey,
And
I
being
appreciate
so
you.
authentic and not running for where you come from, Mike. I thank you for just being so true and real. Our youth love you. Our youth love you, and I love you too. And we need to have more brothers like you telling us about how we made it over. How we made it over, how you made it over. That's a testimony, because you know what? You could have been a statistic, Mike.
Oh man, it's so many bad things. So I'm so blessed, and I'm blessed. I'm got to meet you and get to work with you physically, so they can see your before and after. Let me deliver. Let me deliver the after, baby. Let me deliver, baby.
All right, then. Okay, then, Mike. I'll let you get back to the shop, but
Okay.
give me a call. Thank you, Mike. I'll see you tomorrow.
There it is. One.